I'm waiting for my fellow chatters before I can start. But as we were so rudely interrupted in the most recent chat, we had gotten on to the being gay on one hand and being a Christian on the other, and whether that's how that works and how that's possible. And we left you on a cliffhanger. Now, there was a point when one can be a believer in a faith, I guess, without necessarily having to pay attention to the organization of that faith. I can believe in gravity without having to continually prove it by jumping off a building. That's a bad analogy, I know, but one can believe in Christianity without having to go to church and give 1/10 of your money to a building. But there's other things about, belief in Christianity. If you believe in what's in the book rather than what's coming out of the face of the of the preacher, do you then believe? Let's say we'll ask this question. This will be the question I will pose to our two people in the room right now. Let's say you believe in Christianity, and let's say one of the tenets of Christianity is to evangelize and to try to convert perfectly ignorant of the gospel but peaceful Aborigines in Australia to believe in Christianity. Is that something you should do or not? So answering that question are our two panelists. We've got P. Schiavello and Joshua, so we'll invite them in. Copy. And we'll see what they have to say. Edit, paste, and we'll see if we're not going to invite anyone else in the room. We're going to just have the three of us, and I'll try not to touch a fucking thing so we don't crash. So I'll invite you two guys in. We'll have a menage a trois here, and we'll see where this goes. So there's Joshua, add to stream, and there's Schiavello. Schiavello is no longer in the center.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm usually on the end.
You are? Okay. Well,
I'm being.
So you don't want to be the center of the pancake, Schiavello?
So you two.
I don't want to be the center of the train. No, I'm more of the
caboose
at the start.
Oh, the engine or the caboose.
There you go.
Okay. So our topic was Christianity 101 or Theology 101 and Sex Toys 102. So this will represent the sex toy part of the conversation, the drawing of the cock rings. And I'm going to have you two guys talk a little bit about Christianity. So I did say, my question I asked both of you, and you don't have to be a practicing Christian to answer this question, but if you were a believer of sort of what's inside of that book and not what other people have come up with to add to that belief, is in that book somewhere between those covers, is there a thing about evangelizing, or is that a modern thing?
I'll let Joshua take that.
Yeah, Joshua.
I think for me,
Huh?
I think it's more of a modern thing.
A modern thing. So,
I mean, I know biblically, when we'll reference Jesus biblically, the masses would come together. In speaking historically from that time, they were seeking a savior from the Roman Empire, somebody who would set them free. So they would come together in these big gatherings of people who were very charismatic, speaking, and then you would have this man come in who could do miracles.
Okay.
This is Jesus.
Yeah.
Do I believe this happened? Absolutely. That's just my personal belief.
Okay.
Other people are going to be like, yeah, no, not possible. Okay, whatever. That's their personal belief.
Yeah.
Do I believe that the tenets in which Christianity are built are supposed to be built on the New Testament, not the Old? I don't know that there was ever a time that I can remember reading where it says you have to go evangelize to the masses.
Okay.
And force this down their throat.
Okay.
I do remember one specific verse that said, "They will know you were Christian by your love." That means your actions and outward appearance, not the words and beliefs you personally have, trying to shove it down their throat.
Okay.
So it's like your actions are the love towards the world and the people around you. That doesn't necessarily mean you are this goody two shoes. I mean, Jesus went into a temple and absolutely trashed it.
Yeah.
Because of the tax collectors.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He upset
he upset
the apple cart.
He upset the apple cart. He threw their money everywhere because they were in the temples collecting taxes, and he was pissed. And it's like, this isn't something you do as as the image of what Christian love is, and as the expression of love in that time. He literally attacked the infrastructure and what it was, and he threw their tables and he tossed their money everywhere. And I'm sorry, if you're in a crowd and you are throwing money everywhere, what is that crowd going to do?
It'll jump after the money.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, Christianity and Christian love isn't necessarily this goody two shoe everything.
Yeah. I have a question though, Joshua.
Yes.
About that particular verse in the Bible. If the tax collecting was happening at the H&R Block offices in Jerusalem, would he have gone in there and done that, or was it just that it was inside a temple?
I think it was just that it was inside the temple or the house of worship of God.
Okay, I see.
Because again, it says, "Pay unto Caesar that which is Caesar's."
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, so there's no evangelistic thing. So now I have a question. Are you of the belief? I mean, I would have this argument with my mother every Christmas. She would, the one time she sort of thought we should, pray or do something, before we eat or whatever. We never did that, but she thought we should. I would talk about sort of belief structure a little bit, and I would say, well, Mom, Mrs. Grazzini and Mr. and Mrs. Lichtenauer, her best friends at the time, lived down the street. I said, they're Catholic, and they are Christian, but they are Catholic. And Catholics believe that you and me and Dad and my brothers are all going to hell because we do not believe in Catholicism. And that was too much for my mother to believe, because she was a Christian, but they were Christians, but we weren't Catholic. And she never quite understood. So in your case, Mr. Joshua, do you have that belief in sort of hell and heaven, and that people that don't believe are damned, or what? Or don't you go that far? Joshua?
And I'm trying to figure out how to tactfully answer this.
You don't have to
yes,
be.
Okay, yes and no.
We don't have to be tactful.
Okay, I won't be tactful. No. Yes, I do.
You do think
bottom line, yes.
Okay.
However, I don't believe the same the structure of the belief of what people think is hell. Okay, most people think hell is going to this pit of brimstone,
yeah,
in burning fire.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe that.
Okay.
But
I
believe that for someone who truly believes in God and truly believes in Christ and has that personal salvation,
yeah,
the idea of being totally separated from that for all eternity, it is truly hell.
Okay. So being separated from Christ's love is hellish for you.
Yes.
So there's no brimstone or fire and things like that. And
no.
So I think that's a healthier attitude than some people have, and some people spout through their pie hole and ask you to give them money because of this, and choke on their words when they get the $1,000 check from some homosexual in Australia.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
So it's just, again, it's very interesting. I think that, your take on I wish other Christians had your worldview, Joshua, because it's gentler and politer and more loving and less damning.
I think it's more educated.
And it's more educated. And
then I think most people are sheep. Sheep want to be led.
Yeah.
And people will be, I'm not a freaking sheep. I'm not, it's like, I don't want, it's like,
yeah.
Do you think for yourself?
Yeah.
When you hear something on the news, do you just believe it at face value? Or are you going to take and go and do your own research and then make your own judgment?
Well, there's something to be said for, I'm not going to go to medical school to learn whether I need a colonoscopy or not. I'll trust my doctor to tell me the truth. And I trust some, when I hear a newscaster say something that sounds plausible, I may believe them without having to go on the interweb to find out exactly what the voting was in a particular state, or whether drinking Clorox will kill me or not. There are things that
swallowing hand sanitizer. Yeah,
there are certain things that I will allow the experts or the newscasters to believe. But I do want people to use their brain, not necessarily to do every single bit of research you need, but to just say, does this make sense to me?
Mm-hmm.
Does this fit into what I think is plausible? And for me to think anyone voted for Trump is almost impossible for me to imagine, but I know people did, and I know many millions of people did. But I also know that there had to have been people that were pissed off with, even if they voted for him the first time, that they didn't like the fact that they were being killed by this man and his ineptitude. So, hey, Friedrich.
I rang him, woke him, and got him into the chat.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad now.
Because I was scared.
Your mother and sister did what? Frederick.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're drawing a kindling, are you, Joshua?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
I'm burning in hell.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joshua. I really appreciate what you said. We can.
But on the same aspect, where I was commenting earlier, most Christians would probably view me as a pagan. I also believe that the Bible is very much akin to a tome of magic. I believe it. I've exercised it. I've seen it work. I believe prayer is an exercising of what has been given to you by God.
Okay.
To affect the world around you.
Okay. Well, it's again interesting that when I think of people that are gay, I'm glad that that doesn't preclude them from believing in things, but I can understand why you don't go to a church, because a church, the elders of churches these days want you to conform or leave, I guess.
Sorry, I don't exactly. And actually, there is a church that I go to, but they're much more open-minded.
Good.
And it's not conform or leave. It's come and worship.
Yeah.
And come together. And I think that's what a church should be.
Yeah.
Our day-to-day lives should be an expression of who we are in Christ.
Yeah.
And our day-to-day studies should be about, okay, we read the Bible a little bit every day. And how can we put that into action in our lives and our beliefs. And then, we get together as the church or the body, and we come together and worship, because I believe that's what the church is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not Jimmy Swaggart. I'm sorry, Shavella.
Not taking your money.
Taking your money and buying a $250,000 jet because I want to be able to get from point A to point B on on somebody else's dime and not have to work for it myself.
And I don't want to sit next to the dirty common people.
Exactly.
And so let's see. You were Catholic at the age of reason. Yeah, it's it's all very interesting. Shall we switch topic to adult sex toys? No. Oh, should I show the?
Yes.
Here's the.
I was like, yes, get off this.
Here's the cock ring snowflake I made there.
Cock ring snowflake, Frederick.
Add to your Christmas list. I'm putting that in the Schiavello yellow pen wish list thing, but it may not happen.
I've got to send you my gold card. So
okay.
Do you take Amex?
I don't take any of that stuff.
PayPal?
But we do things via PayPal here.
Oh yeah, they take Amex, and they'll charge me extra for using Amex. So I'll do it just for you, Peter.
Okay. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll talk, and I'll even give you a tip.
My people will talk to your people.
That's okay. I'll have my lawyers talk to yours.
I don't have lawyers, but I have people.
I'll have my lawyers talk to your people.
Okay, good. I'm going to go get more coffee because I can't.
Again?
I drink coffee, but I drink a pot of coffee in the morning.
Holy shit.
Just because I'm not ready to consume, and it's not horribly strong coffee. It's just
maybe it needs to be.
It's the liquid moving around in my body.
But I'll quickly say that I like to watch like the Jimmy Swaggart stuff for the music because musically inclined. I find a lot of it to be. I like the instrumental, and I like the voices of the people. Like I don't really listen to the lyrics all that much because one of the lyrics was, I'm gonna pray until the cows come home.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this is bullshit. Like this is too much.
It's not only bullshit, it's cow shit. It's
cow shit.
I rewrote one of the things, Joshua. I hope this. Well, I mean,
you're not going to offend me, hon.
Yeah, okay, it may not be offensive, but anyway, one of the things that really annoys me about much organized religion these days, not only is that they stood behind Donald Trump and his ineptitude, but they also are explaining or trying to explain that we shouldn't listen to scientists tell us the laws of nature. And the evolution doesn't exist and all of this other stuff. And I mean, you might want to believe that there's a creator that made these laws happen if you want to go that route, but there seems to be evidence that evolution does work and does exist, and the way that things can move and change. Anyway, so I took one of my favorite hymns. I went to an Episcopal school growing up, and from 7th through 12th grade. And one of the hymns that I loved was called "All Things Bright and Beautiful." Okay. And it's a song that has two English, British tunes. One I sang when I was a kid. The other one is what you sometimes get if you try to find it online. But it's all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. I changed the words to all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, evolution made them all. Each little random mutation might make a critter thrive. Just one chance in a million, the fittest will survive. All things, and it goes on to that, and then it goes to the second verse. The purple-headed mountains, the rivers running by, plate tectonics are the reason, not commandments from on high. And then the final verse is, not he, but it gave us eyes to see them, and lips that we might tell. Who needs a God Almighty when science explains so well? So that's Darwin's hymn. I mean, that's the thing that, the born again evangelistic Christian types on their TV shows and their YouTube channels and their things, they're saying, they're convoluting themselves and their science and their evidence in such weird, horrible ways to try to keep evolution out, and just say it exists. And if you have to, say God made it happen,
or allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, God made it happen. The thing that really annoys the whole snafu in that argument, though, is the idea that humans got to this point in evolution because of mistakes that happened. And, this
I'm sorry.
DNA thing didn't match up right, and we, a blob at some point ended up with 3 legs, not 2. And the 3 legs got in the way and they died out. But if 3 legs didn't get in the way, then we'd have 3 legs. So
I don't believe in mistakes.
Huh?
I don't believe in mistakes.
You don't believe in mistakes. So you believe that all of these things are planned.
I don't know. I don't know about planned. I know. I believe, like, this will work better than what I did last time. So let me move this direction.
Okay.
Evolution. Okay. Call it what you want.
Okay.
I think that things have a purpose and a direction.
Okay. Well, that's, I really enjoy hearing that from you, and we can continue to discuss this, because I think it's kind of fun. Now, why not just say God made us brilliant and checked out? Well, that doesn't work for a number of people.
God made us brilliant and checked out. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Well, that would imply that prayer isn't effectual, I guess, and I think Joshua might think that prayers are asked and listened to and acted upon. Anyway, I need more coffee.
Good. You were supposed to get that like 5 minutes ago.
Well, but I ended up singing you my little hymn.
Go get your coffee.
Okay. Schiavello, do you have anything to say, theologically speaking, or should we just go right to the cock rings?
I'm Jewish.
I know that, but you have a Christmas tree, and Jewish people believe in theology too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
They believe in that. They believe
like, I'm not getting involved in this. Leave me out of it.
No, but Joshua believes in the second part of the Holy Bible, and the Jewish have the first part of the Holy Bible going for them. So there's this little between chapter 1 and chapter 2.
I believe in both.
There's a guy that I watch on YouTube. His name is Dr. Kim, and he does his live broadcasts in front of an audience of maybe 3 people. You can sort of hear them praise Godding in the background, but you also hear the echoes implying that he's in a room that's almost completely empty. And his shtick is he'll take some modern news and he'll somehow, the stock market went up, or something, and he'll take that bit of news from today's newspaper, and he'll go back and he'll find part of a sentence in one verse in Jeremiah, and he'll find another sentence in Leviticus that might, and he'll cobble them together in this most convoluted way, and somehow say that this stock market fluctuation is all part of God's plan.
Yeah.
By proving it using these factoids. Well, I could prove anything I want if I just pick certain verses out of any book. The Yellow Pages, I could take, Acme hairdresser and Johnson & Johnson floor wax and turn it into all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
P. Schiavello's brain just snapped. P. Schiavello, if you predecease me, I want your hair. Can that happen?
Sure, you can have my hair. I mean,
I know that a 64-year-old man is hardly going to predecease a 28-year-old one, but just in case, get my people will talk to your lawyers.
Well, we can do a hair transplant.
Okay, you have more than enough. You could just take some of yours away.
Sure.
When you get to be my age, there's more hair coming out of our ears than on the top of our head. So
the majority of my family have full, thick hair. So.
Yeah. My father and my brother have had. My father's dead now, but my father had. I don't think he lost a follicle in his life, and and my brother also has very thick hair. But my other little brother and me, we take after my mother's side of the family, with the males of which were pretty bald pretty quick. So.
Okay. All right, Pierre, go make your coffee.
I'm gonna. Okay, and Frederick has a lot of hair gone.
Yeah, he does actually. You know what? Maybe we can donate some eyebrow hair.
Look! The older you get, the more eyebrows you have. Just saying, you will get there.
I'm just kidding.
It's like I have to trim my eyebrows once a week, otherwise the damn things get so bushy. It's not even funny.
I know the feeling, and I'm like someone from New Jersey. I mean, I'm Italian, Croatian, so I am, I don't have a choice but to be hairy. Like there's just so much of it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
he was a bear.
But I have no facial hair on my, I can't do an E and K. Do you know who E and K is? I'm assuming.
Not offhand, but I can do this.
What?
E and K. Oh.
What?
I'm laughing at Google. Oh, I do Google searches. I just click the microphone and I talk to Google, and the stuff that comes back sometimes it's like, it said D and K, and I'm like, what? And the first thing that come up was dick and cunt, and I'm just like, no, that's not what I said. I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
Google breaks me every day. It's fun. It's hilarious.
Maybe I'll show a photo of Ian. But I wish I had facial hair. And everyone goes, no, you don't. You don't wish you had it because once you have it, then you won't want it. Okay.
This is my normal.
Where am I here? See?
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, he's been on the stream a few times.
He's cute.
Like, you know, when people are joking in the chat about Ian K and how I've got him locked up in a wing of my house, that's the Ian that they're talking about. Because apparently I have a man crush on him, and Frederick's going to say something in the chat. Coming. Like I always say that Ian K is going to get a restraining order on me. Oh, Lord.
See, normally this is the book that I do short stories in.
Short stories? You write short stories?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Those are all short stories. I have a rule for my short stories, at least in this book, about 2.5 to 3 pages, i.e. front and back. So each one is like 1 page, 2 page. First one ends up being 3.5. Next one ended up being about 1/4. But
it's Quarantina. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, meow, kitty.
How adorable. Oh, bless. Blessings, Quarantina.
And Pierre, the thing that drew me into your channel was this.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the story was, but you were telling a story as to how a fountain pen got into the state that the fountain pen was. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'm watching from now on.
how the fountain pen got to
such a horrid state. And I'm just like, yes, I'm watching him from now on.
Oh, it was damaged. You mean?
Yeah, it was
okay.
damaged.
I didn't know. I thought it was.
No, it was damaged.
How the fountain pen evolved to how it is now, or something.
Yes,
so,
yes, and I'm just.
I love. Orca died, Frederick. Orca had something wrong, which was not diagnosable for $600, and it wasn't diagnosable for another $600. And I decided, if they can't see what's wrong by looking at her or by doing an X-ray, the next step was surgery to look inside to see. And I thought, I'm done with this. I didn't have the money to spend on it, and also the cat had it's not feline AIDS. It was another immune issue that meant chances were less great that his life would be particularly made happier by surgery and more stuff.
Yeah.
And the doctor, when I said, let's just put the cat down, and the doctor said, you made the right decision. Now, why they didn't tell me that before they charged me $1,200, I don't know. But anyway, Orca was really great. The first cat I had was named Hijack, and he was such a fun cat. He's very much like Orca, but this Tina is a little bit less personality strong. She's more cat-like. Orca and Hijack were both dog-like. I like dog-like cats and cat-like dogs. I don't like cats by themselves nor dogs by themselves. But if they have this nice little, what's the show about? Berylin? Are you still in the room, Berylin?
What the title says.
Well, we started talking about theology, and we also talked about cock rings, and briefly. Mainly it's about writing and just life in general. So if you know anything about fountain pens or writing or drawing or cock rings, I like your your coat of arms there, Barrelon. I design coats of arms for people, not real ones, but not for real dukes, because they inherited theirs. You know, when you see someone with a coat of arms, chances are in the United States, chances are they're fake. But I create fake ones that are actually quite interesting, I think. And would you like to see any of them? Anyone?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, I will find some, because
coats of arms are kind of cool.
Coat of arms, they're really, really neat. And one of the fun things about coats of arms is, oh, you have a coat of arms, is that at the time, a herald, the reason that they're called heraldry, the science is called heraldry, is the herald was a person that would announce at a gesturing court. What are they called? Combat, where you knock people off their horses, jousting and
fencing
and those sort of combats, you know, games that they would play on horseback. The herald would come out, and he, rather than saying, "In this corner, wearing the blue trunks, we have Sir Guinevere," you know, they didn't say that. They would come out and they would describe in words the shield, what the shield looked like. So, and they would use Latin to describe some of it. The wording, the colors were in Latin. So ore was gold. God, why can't I think of these? Azure was blue. So if you had a gold band on a blue background, that was, you'd start with the background color, azure, or band sinister, meant it was a blue background with a gold band that went from the top left to the bottom right. And when you had a crown, and when you had a duck, if you had 3 ducks in a row on your shield, that would be whatever the Latin word for duck is. And if they were gold, they would be 3 duckum, or, you know, on a blue background. So anyway, let me show you some of the coats of arms I made. First of all, this book on heraldry, the art of heraldry, has God damn it. This book shows and describes in, I'm just trying to find a real simple one here that I can read you what the herald would say, again, as he was about to announce the okay, this one oops, this one here, just look at the shield, don't look at this other shit, even though that's described as well. But this little thing inside the shield shows a leg and 2 books. And the leg, it looks like it's silver and black, because it doesn't have the cross-hatching. Cross-hatching, where all different colors are represented by cross-hatching. So this one is, so sable, which means black, sable on a pile, or, which meant this thing is a pile, whatever that is, that triangle or wedge. Sable on a pile, or meaning gold, between 2 books argent, meaning 2 silver books, clasped and garnished in base, spurred, and garnished gold, whatever that means. Mantling, which is all of this frou-frou on the side. Mantling, sable, and ore, meaning black and gold. Crest, which is this part on the top. Crest, on a wreath of the colors, meaning on a wreath, which is right there, of the colors, meaning the colors he already mentioned. A dexter arm, meaning a right arm, in armor, sable, in black armor, garnished gold with gold little rivets, holding in the hand a roll of paper argent, which meant gold, a piece of gold paper, between roses or, meaning gold roses, with the motto, Tole Lege. So the poor guy walking out on the field announcing this knight would have to say all that shit. And me in the background, if I was blind, watching this spectacle, listening to this spectacle, I would be able to envision what this was by what he said. So that's what went into that one. Now, if you imagine this one, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different coats of arms within the coat of arms, that's I don't know where this one is mentioned, but it would go on for a page and a half probably. One of the fun things about, you see there are 3 stirrups here. There are 3 stirrups, and there's also 3 gold rings and 3 gold rings. And you can only, in your description, you can only mention the number 3 once.
No.
So, so whenever you mention 3 again, you have to say of the first, meaning the first number that was mentioned. So anyway, this is all fascinating, I'm sure, to all of you. So I'm going to put this away and show you coats of arms I designed. Simple yet complicated. Yep.
Yeah.
What in English, you don't have to do the Latin. Describe it in English, Frederick. Let's see if I can draw it out for you. I've got my blank piece of paper right here.
I'm gonna hop off the stream.
Why?
Because
you're bored to tears.
No.
No. Because why?
My son is upset.
Beckoning. So. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Give him my best.
He has like anxiety and so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no, you don't want to. I don't want you to share it. I want you to tell me, Frederick. Just tell me in words what it looks like, and I'll see if I can draw it.
All right. Well. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Shvelo.
Bye, Shvelo.
I hope you all have a good night. A good day.
Okay. Good.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. This is just, I mean, I didn't plan on talking about coats of arms, but the fact that guy had one on his thing made me think. So here's your crest and your mantling. I wish I could draw it this well when I actually have to design them. I get really stiff. And all of this frou-frou that you see here, this mantling, it's called, this is supposed to represent the coat. That's where the coat of arms, coat word comes from. This is supposed to represent the coat that the knights would wear on the Crusades because they were inside of their metal in the hot sun in the desert, and they would bake to death. So they would wear this coat that had the same colors as their shield, so you could tell who they were when you're trying to kill them. So the coat of arms, and this is supposed to represent the tattered coat, as it's been ripped to ribbons in its many battles. Oh, so Barrelon, do you actually have, is that your official coat of arms? Are you a knight or coronet or duke or what? So divide the shield in half horizontally. Okay, so here we have the half. Okay. That's pretty simple. Now what do we do? Then the bottom half is divided vertically. Okay, good. Good night, y'all. Oh, wow. Yeah, the German coats of arms are different than the British ones a little bit, but they're really quite, they still needed some of this stuff. They didn't, I don't think they followed the same rules. Are we done? This isn't finished. We need to add colors, or we need to add more shice. Is there shice involved in your coat of arms there? Do you have little ding dongs and Maltese crosses and stuff like that? Top half has a shield inserted with the Teutonic cross inside. The top half. So there's a shield in here, inside of this, right? Like that. And a Teutonic cross. So are the Teutonic crosses like that with the serifs? Is that a Teutonic cross? Right hand box is fur. So is it sable? Fur had different symbols depending on what fur it was. Is this the right hand? Is this what you're thinking is the right? Because on a shield, the right side is this side. So sable is black with white. Does it have white things or does it have black things? A six-pointed has six. God, so the roses are here. Lower left-hand box, 6 pointed roses. So are they arranged just randomly, or are they like 3, 2, 1? Yes and yes on the cross. So here's our Teutonic. What color is the cross? And what color is the shield? Six lobe roses. So if the rose, I'm just going to draw, this is not necessarily a rose. This is just a flower. But are they arranged 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1 on the shield, or are they sort of random? Black cross and white shield. So okay, so here we have the cross. Looks like a barbell. And it's an even cross, or is it a Christian cross? Is the bottom one longer? Is it a plus sign or a cross? 3 in a slanted, or like this. It's even. Okay, so here we have our cross. with their big serifs. Here you have these things arranged like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, or so. I'm just pretending that this is right. What color are these roses? Well, it's hard putting, when there's 3 lions, one on top of each other, and you have to fit them in this thing. The lion in the front looks like a dachshund, big long stomach, and then the one down here looks like it's a thalidomide lion or something. Roses are white. What's the background then? And the white roses are actually silver. I don't think they used white on these things. They used green. Dear, green. That's a diagonal line of some sort. I forget which way the diagonal goes, or maybe it's horizontal. I don't know. It's some sort of line work, either horizontal or at an angle. And then this is black, right, with the white bits. I think, right? And these things sort of look like shuttlecocks from badminton. So this has white blobs on it. This has hatching of some sort with white. Let me see what heraldry. I could look it up in that book down there. Hatching, Hatching, hatching. Heraldry hatching. Okay. Let me see here. Green. Green is cross-hatching that does this. So in black and white illustrations of coats of arms, they came up with this system to do it. So black is black, silver is depicted as white. What's behind this thing? What's behind the top, the shield? What color is that? Friedrich. This is black too? God, you Germans are depressing. This is all black. An awful lot of black in your coat of arms here. Do you have any crest or any brouhaha up here? Do you have a helmet or a crest or anything? It's pretty dark. This is a very weird coat of arms. It's very heavy over here, and then this is green with white, and this is black with white, and so that's kind of cool. Do we still have the other guy here? A helmet looking with a chain necklace. Oh dear. helmet. I'm not gonna. Here's the helmet, the visor, and a chain necklace. Rivet, rivet, rivet. And is it a black helmet or a silver one? I'm watching you, Joshua, as your silver helmet. Cool. Is there a motto down here? Black is beautiful. I like black coats of arms. Schwarz ist gut. Oh my God, a Holy Roman Imperial Eagle sitting, is it facing front or? Well, close one eye, pretend you're at the, sorry about that, should be Black Lives Matter. No, so the Imperial Eagle is look, you know, his wings are, you know, doing this, and he's looking, which way is he looking? And that's silver as well. Sitting on top. Facing front. Oh wow. That's tough. Okay, facing front. And of course in the way an artist would draw the eagle, there was not necessarily a convention for drawing lions and tigers and bears. They all could, there was a way where an artist could depict these things a little bit differently. And that's what's fun about, that's where the artist comes in. You know, you can't. Anyway, let me show you some of the ones I made. To the right. Oh, well, anyway. Let me show you some of the ones I designed. I've designed these for people to give as gifts, and they say, I really like your coats of arms spears. I'd like to give one to a friend of mine who's a writer, and he's a film producer, and he's, you know, then, you know, I ask them, you know, what the favorite color might be, what this, you know, and then I come up with something that looks somewhat plausible. But anyone that actually has one of these coats of arms would not be upset. Twitch is something that I know kind of about, but is Twitch, Barrelon, is Twitch something that can be saved, or is that something that just exists for the moment and then goes away?
It generally exists for the moment, though VODs or VOTs videos, you can record them as you do them.
Okay.
And then you can post them to YouTube.
Okay. Well, I might try it. I don't necessarily need a bigger audience. I'd rather have a smaller,
but yes, it can be
intelligent audience than maybe a big one that has people coming in to just take up space. You know, I mean, you Twitch, right, Joshua?
Yes, I Twitch.
Okay. Okay, well, maybe you can teach me how to do it, you guys.
I just do video games, but yeah, there's people on there that do art, that do car repair, that do video games. It's a big platform.
Okay, I'll be right back. I just want to show you some drawings I did when I was designing coats of arms for myself and my family. This is one of the few sketchbooks that I actually almost have entirely dedicated for coats of arms. And I think these have, this is one I was doing for a company called the Atlas 500. And it was a company that, or a group of people who made a lot of money, and they wanted to have a coat of arms made for their stationery and shit. So, and it was all about being libertarians and not believing in government and making lots of money and driving fast cars and stuff. So instead of the head of the, a knight, I had on the top one of those leather race car helmets that they used to wear. And it's sitting on top of a ticker tape machine, because they were all stock market people as well. And then out of the ticker tape machine came the ribbon, the ticker tape, that became the mantling. So it sort of looked from far away, if you squinted, it looked like a knight's helmet and mantling, but it was ticker tape machine and this. The inside, I don't know if I have the inside labeled here, but this was one of the ideas. They love to travel, so I thought maybe a globe could be here, but I didn't like that idea. Then a big old dollar sign, because it was all about money for them. And I didn't like that idea, but it was a way of, again, depicting a dollar sign through graphically in an interesting way. This was a compass on a globe. This was meant to look like a stock market, going up, but it was counterbalanced. So I came up with all these various ideas, and I eventually settled on dividing the frame into quadrants. And I think I tore out all of the pictures, but I'll draw it right here. I have them in a different album, but let me just draw you what I came up with, because that's easier than finding that other book. So it was a shield, again with the ticker tape thing on top, is divided into fourths. This was a black background, and these were white backgrounds. And there was a circle in the middle like this. And I can't remember exactly which quadrant had which thing. I think this one had a gloved hand on a steering wheel of a sports car. This one, I think, had it was a gold coin, I think. This said Liberty, and it was part of the dollar, the gold Liberty dollar coin. So you saw part of a face and a arm or whatever of Liberty. So we had the wheel representing their fancy cars that they had, and they liked to drive fast. The coin, which represented the money. One of these was a compass rose, because they all love to travel. And what the fuck was this one? What was that? Does anyone know? Are any of you members of the 500 Club? The 500 Atlas Club? That was the name of the 500 Atlas, was down here. And it was a private club for very fancy rich people. I don't remember what that was. Huh. So anyway, for me, what did I design? I wanted to do one for Gull Lake. This was one for people that like to cook. There were 3 forks coming down from this end and 2 forks going up. So the middle line had all of these graphic vertical lines on them, just for fun. I don't remember who I was designing that for. This was for Gull Lake. These were meant to be, that's where my family lake home is, and I meant we love boats. So it was a picture of a bow of a boat, and the G stood for gull. In heraldry, often punning is what they call this, where they will, like Shakespeare would be an arm shaking a spear, was a way of having the name represented. Gull Lake, the waves for the lake, the gull for the gull. I ended up, God, this was another one I did for someone else. This was given to a brother who loved Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, so they were arranged down here, and he drove a school bus, and he liked to do cookouts. So that was one that I designed for that. This was one for me for calligraphy, actually. I have the book here somewhere. It turned out pretty neat, if I do say so myself. Can I say so myself? Somewhere I have that very book. It's right here. I found it. No, I didn't find it. I didn't find it, Blanche. Is it up here? Yes, it's here. So this is one I did for myself with 2 pen nibs. Hey, Miss Marilyn, darling. With a red background. One nib pointing up, one pointing down. So I'm describing coats of arms I've designed for people, Marilyn. And it's really, really fun. I love the here's other versions of that coat of arms where I had the nibs coming from different points of view. And eventually, this one is the one I did for myself, which has a boater, a skimmer, a straw hat, and 2 compass drafting sets. And I do want to show you that one though, because it's really fun. Here's another little sketchbook. See here's kind of what it ended up looking like, except the inside was different. It has a boater, a pen with calligraphic lines coming out of it, 2 compasses, drafting set compasses, and then I had origami. I love origami. I had origami, folded origami stuff representing the mantling, and and then half of the drawing was in pencil and half of it was in pen, because I always think that my pencil drawings, by the time I go into pen, when I'm actually finishing a real project, by the time I'm finishing it, drawing it in ink, usually I'm so bored to tears with it that it becomes really tight and just awful. So let me show you what it looked like. Just a minute. So Barrelon, is that your real coat of arms? So here you can see all sorts of different things that go into. Oh, here's one I made for my ex-boyfriend who loved coats. He had a collection of overcoats. So it's a coat of arms. So it's just this parka coat with his cat. And this cat has shedding, so there's fur all over the background here. And okay. And then there's these arms of different coats, because he has hundreds of coats. So it's a coat of arms of arms. Okay, so here's sort of a history of the coat of arms I made for myself, which I have in this book. So it has some of the sketches you can't see because of the light. Damn it. See if I can show it here. So this one was neat because it had 2 spilled ink bottles that caused the frou-frou to happen all around it. And I don't know if this was supposed to be a bird of some sort. Here, the ink bottles are spilling. I gave up the ink bottles and went with my compasses and origami. And I tried different things. I had my little straw boater and compass points. And I'll just show you how I ended up. So this is a lot of the work that goes into these damn things. It's not just one drawing. So here's the finished product. So half of it's in ink. So here's a pen with ink. Here's a pencil with pencil. And then this part is ink. And so then this half, this part is in ink. This part is in pencil. So it's counterbalanced, counter done. And then my motto is yes, no, because I can never make up my mind. So that's my motto. Let me just, here's the one with the coats of arms with the, oh my God, porcupines. I remember him saying that porcupines were part of their, oh, it was a gear, a big gear. That's what it was because of industry. But he wanted porcupines because that was an animal that represented sort of stubbornness and resilience and stuff. Eventually, that was drawn. It looked like this, and this was being used to create a little 3-dimensional all gold die. So this thing in reality is this big. It's about as big as my fingernail.
Wow.
They should never argue over my price. No, it takes me. I get maybe $3 an hour if I counted up the time that it took me.
Yeah.
So this is what it looked like when it was carved, and it was printed this size. So I had to really this had to be simplified. But then they called back and they said, I want to have this on our stationery. So then I had to print it. I had to completely redraw it in Illustrator. So yeah. Things had to be black or white. It wasn't. I had to redraw the whole frickin' damn thing, and then they wanted it embossed. So that I had to simplify that to be this, so it could be embossed. You can't really see that very well, but this was embossed on fabric. This is one that it was a given one that I had to draw so it could be engraved. Blind relief. So I was given the flat black and white one, and I had to draw it as if it were carved, so it could be carved. So sometimes the jobs I do are kind of simple in the sense of I'm just taking what exists. Like if Frederick, you wanted me to redraw your coat of arms, I'm not going to put porcupines in it. Here was another one I did. This would be good for you, Marilyn. It's an octopus because of all the ink that they have. So it's an octopus in the background. So
good morning, Miss Marilyn.
And here's my coat of arms sort of printed. So you see the pencil and the pen work going back and forth. So anyway, they're really, really fun. So Barrelon, you got us going in this. Here we were talking about theology and sex toys, and now we're talking about heraldry. So thank you. Thank you, Barrelon, for causing this distraction from our normal topics.
See, Pierre, the Christmas decorations we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I took that and turned it into a little short story.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Well, I'd love to have you read it sometime. I don't know if I have. I'm starting to get hungry now, so I have to figure out. But I'm glad. I like that. It's like Mickey Mouse dancing and a fountain pen and the Queen of Hearts and Marilyn Monroe and a stethoscope and a YouTube play button.
Nice.
Well, the most important part of a coat of arms is actually what's happening inside the shield. So I try to put as much as I could in there, but sometimes sometimes I say, well, this is less important, so let me put that as one of the outside things. Or let's say you like wearing hats. I'll put the hat on top of the head of the knight rather than inside the thing. So the most important thing is what's inside. So your a YouTuber, that would be an interesting thing to do. You could, the YouTube logo could certainly fit within the shield nicely. And then maybe that's the only logical spot for that. But it could also be that little YouTube play button could be a pattern on the back, like a pattern of the used to describe fur. So it's really, the fun part for me as the artist is trying to decide which elements to put where. One of the things that I have done in my past is creating still lives of a pile of books. And have you seen those? On my So a Jewish boy is asking for Lord Jesus to give him strength. So we've that's the way you type your conniptions. But one of the things I do, and I can show you an image of one somewhere if I have it. But I've done this for Harvard University a number of times. They want to give a gift. Oh, okay. Goodbye, Bear. Well, come back and tell us about yourself someday.
Have a good day, Berlin.
We want to know. Inquiring minds. So for Harvard, they sometimes get a donor to give them, $1 trillion so they can do something with it. And I will say, well, let's represent their life and what they've done for Harvard and their Harvard history, whether most of them were students. So let's represent that via books. So the books, there's 3 books essentially that sort of stay the same regardless. And they're all open. One is a map of Harvard Yard. So here's a map. One is the Veritas coat of arms here, Harvard University, it says. And over here is in the open book is a picture of John Harvard statue. And then maybe another one is something else. But then there's room for lots of other books and things that I can put. And some of the books are closed and there's a word or two. Some of the books are open and there's another picture or two. Sometimes there's a thing, like a key, a dorm room key, and it'll be the dorm room that this donor had when he was in Harvard. And so it's really a fun way of describing this person's life in Harvard, and this is framed and given as a thank you gift to them for their contribution. So it's really a fun way to represent someone's life. And I've done these as wedding presents, as anniversary presents. I've come up with a pile of books that can represent someone's life or a couple's life together. I've also done them using rivers. I make a huge map, and it's a river that's winding through, and the river represents the person's life. And on each bank of the river represents their jobs and their children and everything. So it's really a fun way. I enjoy the challenge of taking someone's life and representing it in a still life. I'm going to do this. Joshua, you keep writing and talking to Marilyn. Marilyn, do you want to join us? I can pull you in. I just have to put food in my stomach. You don't want to wake up the house yet? How many people live in your mansion with you, Marilyn?
But Marilyn, it's like 7:30 in the morning. Everyone needs to be up.
Well, she's on the West Coast.
Oh,
so
that's 5:30.
It's a little earlier there. Does anyone else want to join our little duo to make it a trio? 21 people live in your house? That's why you need those dining rooms.
Okay, it's too early to be up.
It's too early to be up. Okay, I'm gonna throw.
I was up at 4:30, so.
Oh, I don't have any cereal. God damn it! Never mind. I'm just gonna have to wait till lunch to eat. I'll waste away.
Toast and coffee always works.
What in coffee?
Toast and coffee.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I do have toast, but I'll just drink coffee. I'll wait till noon to have something.
But no, the gist of the story was an old man being asked to create decorations for a very special holiday, and the old man, actually, that was how he was known, but he was known as this great artist that could do or draw anything.
Okay.
So wanting to create something extra special for this great holiday, went to Father Time.
Okay.
And presented his conundrum to Father Time, and Father Time gave him a special magical powder to create a magical paper. Well, to old man, this paper looked almost transparent, but to everyone else, it was dark as night.
Huh.
But once old man did artwork on this paper, when the recipient would look at it, they would see a memory replay as though it was being watched on television, being watched from outside. So, yeah, gist of the story.
Well, that was very sweet. that my snowflakes inspired a story. Well, I like that. And Marilyn Darling wants to know what pen you're using.
Me? Newler's Ahab with an extra fine can-write nib that has been tuned and made just a touch finer. That is By far the most flexible nib that I have. I mean, it takes very little. Oh God, it's been open for too long. Nathan, your ink dries too quick.
So, Miss Marilyn, can I ask a question about your mansion? Is it I don't want to use the word communal in the sense of hippie-ish, but do you all share, there are public rooms that you share, I presume, like the dining rooms and maybe the kitchens and the living rooms. You can be in any one of them, but you probably each have 2 or 3 rooms and a bathroom that are all your own, right? That's cool. I mean, I sort of live that way here in my building, except there are 150 units, but we do have shared, we have a courtyard we share, we have a gallery we share and a lobby, and there's a lot of communal behavior, but I wish we had more public rooms like that, because it would be really neat if we had a library, because there's lots of art books that we have right now in a library that's in a hallway, off the lobby. But just sitting down and grabbing a book off the shelf, and while you're waiting for your laundry to dry or whatever, is really kind of fun. So how many private rooms do you have in your mansion, Marilyn? Schiavello, this is what I want you to make for us. I get the basement, I know, but I think in your big house you can have other winglets. Every room has plumbing, is plumbed. But not the dining rooms. The dining rooms aren't private. I mean, that when you were showing that room full of like 18 couches, they're private too? They're owned by one person or a floor of people, or what? Or does everyone have a living room of their own? No. Well, maybe you can describe it when you are next online, because it is. $14,500 square feet is just. I'm trying to imagine. Is Frederick going to bring the Graf Zeppelin to live with you too? I've been in a mansion before, yes. I know what mansions look like. But when you talk about something being private, I don't know what that means. It seems like your bedroom is private. You have a bathroom that's only yours, in a bedroom that's only yours. And then you have what other rooms do you only that you have complete control over, Marilyn? How many rooms are there? There's a bedroom and a bathroom. Do you have your own private kitchen? When you say yes to something, say yes, kitchen. So I know what you're talking about. Just a bedroom and a bathroom. So your studio is in your bedroom. I thought you were going to have the pole barn for pole dancing. You can do your old routine there, Friedrich. Friedrich. I'm imagining P. Schiavello rubbing his head in disbelief. Okay, so the kitchen is shared by more than one person. So you don't need to be you don't need to have your camera on. I'll just say that what you're doing, because I know. Oh, the living room is going to have that. Well, I think you need a room that's sort of the entertainment room bar area. And I think when I move there, Schiavello, I think I'm going to start drinking again. I'm a cute drunk. Oh, that's right. You have a chapel. And this, before you 21 people moved in, was this a building that was for one family? Hence the word mansion, rather than the term apartment house or condo or something? You don't mind if I start drinking again? I'm a cute drunk. I stopped drinking shortly before Trump was elected.
That was your mistake.
And it was not the right. Oh, it was built for you. Oh dear. So it's, in a sense, it is a big house, not to be confused with the big house, which is a penitentiary, but it's a big house that you and 20 other people got together and said, we want to have these things. And I imagine it wasn't 20 people making these decisions. It was probably a group of 5 or 6 that you entrusted to create this thing. We built this building, we renovated this building, and there were 100 people coming up with the decisions that had to be made. And 100 people, 100 artists have 300 ideas between them. And how we ever got anything done is beyond me. You don't own the house. You own shares in it. You own shares in the co-op. You probably own shares in a co-op. Oh, you rent a room. Okay. Are everyone renters, or are there some people that own? Well, I know that you're one of these lucky. I own my house free and clear too, but it's in a building, a condo building. So I'm not, I have to follow some rules. I can't walk around naked throughout the entire building. Oh, everyone rents. Okay. So it's an apartment building with a lot of common areas. The non-bathroom and bedrooms are communal, which I think is really neat. Yeah, Frederick Schiavello was talking about your house, which is an old family house, I guess, right? From way back. You'd like to see me walking around naked? Each bedroom has its own wash stand. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Marilyn. Marilyn, you sound like you're getting upset with me. It's like when Schiavello was upset with me. I finally figured it out by drawing out his family tree. So I was finally able to understand. And you have an elevator, good. Well, it sounds lovely. And the house that Schiavello is going to build for me in the basement that I'm going to get with the Schiavello home. I had clients, Schiavello, that just sold their house, but you would have loved, well, I don't know whether you would have loved it or not, but you would have appreciated their house. Marilyn's house was built from scratch to be the way it is. It looked very modern. The building looked modern. Let me show you the house that my clients lived in, you guys, because this would have been, it has been sold. It was on the market a few months ago, and it was sold. And they're clients that I've done work for, and it was a beautiful estate, built in the early part of 1900, and it was sold through Christie's, and the gardens in it were built by the Olmsted Company, and but they had a beautiful view of the ocean, and essentially a private beach, because there was cliffs on either side of them that where people couldn't walk to their beach. And it was a huge beach. So let me just see if I can find, where's Google Maps here? 195 Summer Street. So let me get my, no, I don't want that. I don't want directions. I want, damn it. How do I go back? Okay. 1 hour and 3 minutes to get there. Cancel. Let me just zoom up to 193 Summer Street. Okay, I don't want directions. How do I get rid of that? Okay, I'm just going to start completely over. The house was called the Chimneys. You're getting a Woody? The house was called the Chimneys, and it was called that because it had 7 smokestacks coming out of the top of it. And the 7 smokestacks were, I don't want that. I don't want the directions. I want, how do I just make it go away? Search for a place and address. 195. Okay, finally. So here is the ocean. Here is the house. And the house had 7 smokestacks coming out of it. And each smokestack, each chimney was fed by at least 2, if not 4, fireplaces. And the beach, here's where the Cabots live. And here's a cliff. And here's where other fancy people live, with a cliff. So this beach is really only accessible by 3 families. And the gardens these are the 3 gardens, 4 gardens, plus a greenhouse that a friend of mine built that exists, and a tennis court which they never used. They were going to tear up and put something else up, but they ended up selling it. And stables were here, and this was the carriage house. And then the front driveway, you can't see where it started. You know, it's just this little tiny dirt road.
A very nice place.
So it's a beautiful house, and it was owned by only 3 families, 3 families in its course of life. And the gardens were beautiful. The house was lovely. But the recent owners that I knew, my clients, there were mom and dad and a child, and a huge dog. Okay, I'm looking at Schiavello's house. This is the house you live in now? No, this is not the house you live in now. Wow, you can play tennis. And you have a pool. I love how the houses are joined together. The 2 buildings are joined together. I love that. I love the roof line there. And I love the dotted line here. It's like, here's checkpoint Charlie. You have to show your passport before getting on the tennis court.
Nice.
So anyway, it's lovely when you have people that are generous enough to hire you to do drawings of their gardens. And when I would go up, the owners, lady of the house mainly, was there when I was there drawing. She would, make lunch for me, and we'd sit and talk, and we were friends. She just wrote a book about her experience and renovating that garden, which is being printed in Italy right now. So it'll be out on the marketplace soon. It was really a fun, beautiful house to visit. And so I do house portraits as well. I draw pictures of someone. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I didn't see you. Come on in. I'm sorry. I didn't see your. Fuck. God damn it. My book was covered. So, Marilyn, are you still there? Come on back. I thought you were, when I read it, I thought you were talking about Schiavello and not letting you in his house or something. So here we go. Add stream. There you go, Marilyn. You're now on. Oh, look at that.
This is my house.
That's very, it's very, so do you own the woods behind it, or just the footprint of the house?
No, the whole land is owned by a company called Mercy House.
Okay. Wow. That's great. So you have a lovely courtyard. And is the backyard yours as well or not?
We don't have a backyard. I mean,
okay,
our backyard is about this big.
Okay. Oh, cool. I just saw that there was trees in the backyard that I thought.
That's not a backyard. That's the front yard.
There's the front yard. The front yard. Okay. Oh, that's great. So you do have green area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's really nice. And I love the it, it looks, when you look down from the top, it looks like you might be manufacturing snow tires in that building. But when you see it from the ground, it looks much smaller. It looks more house-like. There you
there's
are.
my room.
I can see you. Cool.
Yep. It's a nice house. And it's the biggest house on the block.
On the block, well, I can see it's hard to get a bigger house than that. Now, what's the house? What's the building that looks like a Roman numeral 3? That's two houses down. Not that one. That one looks like it's that one.
This one, yeah. That's an apartment complex on the other side of the street.
Okay, that looks a little penitentiary-like.
Yeah, that's an apartment complex. There's several units in that one too, but the difference between this and this is we share a kitchen and a laundry room and common areas, but those people, they have their own kitchens, they have their own bathrooms.
Yeah, like a regular apartment. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Schiavella wants to know what the square footage of the entire place is. Joshua's house.
That's where I live. I mean, I'm literally in the middle of nowhere.
It looks like it's, oh.
Every room has a freestanding washstand and bathroom.
And bathroom. Okay, nice.
It's too early for lights right now.
Too early in the morning to see that. And Joshua, there's your house. So you live in a mobile home place there, Joshua?
This is my property.
Oh, nice.
And actually, that trailer that's there isn't there anymore. It doesn't exist.
Okay. That lighted match got rid of that, didn't it?
Well, no, actually, the roof got a leak in it, and that got rid of it.
Okay.
But going down this road, all the way to the back, right there, that's a spare room that I built a number of years ago. You walk inside my trailer, and it does not look like a trailer.
No, I just saw it looked like a. I used to tell people that have those a trailer mobile home sort of thing. I refer them as yachts because they're very yacht-like to me. They're very. So Schiavella wants to know, Marilyn, what total square footage of your house is. The whole complex, I think, is what he wants to know. You know that?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
It says 18,929 square feet.
And here's the backyard of Schiavello's mansion there. He said I could share it.
That's beautiful.
I will show you what my building looks like because I'm surrounded by really, right now, we were always surrounded by railroad tracks, but they're now being built up around us even further. Why can't I make this go away? 3D? I don't want, how do I get rid of this thing? There's a big circle, oval, but here's my building is oh shit, I'm stuck. You're still moving though.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Are we stuck? Connection lost, it says. How did that happen? Marilyn, you can still hear me?
I can still hear you.
but I'm not moving.
And just give it a minute. Sometimes it takes a minute to catch up.
Well, and Joshua's moving. But for some reason, my Wacom tablet pen is not functioning.
Maybe it needs to be plugged in.
It is plugged in, but let me just try something here. My Wacom tablet just seized up.
Oh.
Let me unplug it from the monitor and see if it goes back in. And if I lose you all, hopefully that won't happen, but I can always come back.
It wouldn't be the first time this morning. It's okay.
It won't be. Oh, see, I now looks like your camera was unplugged.
Yeah.
I didn't unplug it, dear. Or did I? Did I unplug it?
And my favorite jacket that I was talking about the other day, Marilyn.
Oh, cute. That's awesome. You are adorable. This is my favorite shirt. It says, I love coffee.
Oh, God, the camera. Really? You're just going to be a douche, huh?
I can't even see this.
Okay, I had to restart my Wacom thing. I may be somehow seized up. I might have to do a force quit. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why my Wacom tablet is just not even beginning to function. So I can't do anything that I should be able to do. And if this is broken, I am fucked. I'm fucked without lubricant. Schiavello.
Just take a deep breath and restart everything. Turn everything off and turn it back on again.
Yeah. I may have to do that. So, but
batteries.
I may lose the broadcast. We've had so much fun talking about theology and coats of arms.
Mm-hmm.
So there are worse things that can happen. I'm going to try to plug in a mouse here. I mean, a real mouse. So as soon as I find one. Meanwhile, you guys keep talking. If I can find my real mouse.
I can't really do a whole lot of talking because it's too early in the
real
morning.
Mouse.
Too early in the morning.
What's on your agenda today, Marilyn?
What's today? Sunday? Today's laundry day.
Today is laundry day?
Yeah.
Well, my laundry should happen as well, but I have a T-shirt, Marilyn, that says, I printed up a bunch of them, and it says in stencil block lettering, very military. And I thought it would be fun to wear to a gym. Not that I go to a gym, but that people could wear to go to a gym. And it says, my other outfit is a strapless Dior number. And when I wear that, it means it's time for me to do my laundry.
Yeah.
I've never yet had to wear my strapless Dior number. So.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still not working. So I need to find an actual mouse here that I can plug in.
I found my laundry stickers. Did I tell you I got a new bed?
Okay.
Did you hear me? Oh, you didn't hear me. I said, did you hear I got a new bed?
No.
Yep, I got a new bed. It barely fits in my room. I hate it.
Well, my room is like 12 foot by 12 foot. And then right there is my sink, and off to the side of it's the bathroom. So master bedroom in a mobile home. Yay. It's nice though.
I used to have the master bedroom in a mobile home, and ours had a corner tub, and it was massive. It was like a small swimming pool.
Yeah, well, mine's you can step into the tub, shower, surround, but it's a pretty good sized tub-ish.
I miss my tub.
Not a 2-person tub by any means, but still.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, I found a mouse with a cord,
Oh,
but
boy.
it's not plugging into my... No, I think what happened is, I think this is what happened. If I can find it now. Let me try something here. Oh, okay. I have found something. So I can... let me try something here. Mute mic. Solo layout. Mic. Do mic.
Oh, he left.
There goes Pierre.
What?
Well, okay, now
There
he's
it comes.
back.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Start cam. Oh, there.
There you are.
Oh, but this is my computer cam.
Oh.
So as you can see, it has this soft glow. It's pre-Vaselined.
That's how I often feel about this one.
Most people don't know. Long time ago, to get that soft glow for cameras in movies, they actually used to take Vaseline and put it around the edges.
Vaseline around the edges, and it just did a number on the wrinkles of Gloria Swanson or whatever it was. Okay, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to stop this screen, this broadcast,
and restart.
Frederick likes pre-lubed things because, okay, Schiavello, are you rubbing your hair? Rubbing your head? Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast and I will come back, and hopefully my other camera will be working. The problem was I have four ports from on the back of my computer, and every once in a while one of them just stops working.
Yeah.
The one that was connected to my Wacom tablet, which is where my control panels are, just stopped working, and it's a little bug, but I can deal with it. So Schiavello's always ready. He needs no lube, no lubricant. Speaking of nastiness and lube, there was a product that came out maybe 30 years ago called Replens.
Yes.
That is Replens. And it was something that the boyfriend I had at the time said, he saw a commercial for it, and he said, it looks like a fire extinguisher with a silencer on it, which I thought was a nice description. But then we thought, well, it has to have a different name. Replens is it doesn't really say what we want. So we came up with Muff So Moist and beaver grease.
It still exists.
Lubricant. Anyway, so Schiavello, are you rubbing your hair? Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Let me save this, and I'll plug in, and hopefully my normal camera will work. So see you in a minute.